With the news on. Get down.
Let me clear my throat. Oh, that's better. That's better. Somebody pass around the offering. Since I'm always preaching on tracks, you feel me? I'm about to get paid for it. Sermon of the day. You right where you supposed to be, baby. Informants, informant, that information forming. Important you get a portion of fortune pouring. Confession, fortune, me blessings on now they snoring. You mellow, so focused on scoring. Got you underperforming. I never expect something, never assume nothing. Judging me for my past, but that's why I'm triumphant. I don't demand, I know where I stand like engineer hands. Watch how my life pans. Cut that game plan, show out like a jota, pop out like a cutter. Telling the kick rock, skipping the course, squares like hopscotch. This gonna be my mood to my beat drop. Putting my boogie shoes in my diddy boots, ain't no stop. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Congratulations on the celebration. I know I don't without a need of a validation. No congratulations on no celebration. I know I don't without a need of a validation. Yeah. If having hope is dangerous, call me evil Knievel. You leading on the wrong side, living with pens and needles. So lethal, made Shane Black wanna write a sequel. Cause I snuggle my dream till it's seen as illegal. And I still probably will, cause I can never give up. I got my goals calling me, how could I never pick up? Either we make up or just break up.
Good evening, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. How y'all doing out there? You know, it is that time, my favorite time, my absolute favorite time of the day, the week. Don't get no better than Thursday nights. I don't care what nobody says. I'm absolutely biased, but I'm telling the truth. Thursday nights are the best. And there's no better place to be than right here with me, your girl, Lady Dawn B, on the Bravo with Sheila Network. And we appreciate you tuning in, joining us for another great conversation. Y'all know how we do over here. We are not here to convict nor to convince. We're just here to have great dialogue, conversation, so that we can go and grow and glow together, so that we are showing up in our spaces, being the best version of ourselves that we can be, because we want to improve relationships. But the most important relationship for us to improve is the one with who self. So this is one of the places where we get to kind of talk things out, you know, kind of go over stuff, just be 1000% real. Y'all know me, straight, no chaser. We don't cut no corners, don't really bite my tongue, but I'm trying, maybe a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. You know, I promised that I would be toxic all year long, and I have been doing that for 8 months. This is the 9th month. That's right. I'm Team Toxic for 2025. Okay. But it's a good toxic. It's toxic just like with the flu virus, as I've said before. What happens? They inject a little bit of the flu into the virus. Why? So that it can fight it from the inside. Well, that's what we come to do on Thursday nights. We do introspection. And we're here to have conversation. A lot of us, we are not professing to be, and this is not therapy, this is not counseling, this is not a doctor's visit. However, some of us who are on the panel and a part of the squad are actual legal certified licensed clinicians, therapists, and counselors, pastors, all that good stuff. So if you are in need of those professional services, we can connect you. However, tonight we're just being us, dropping titles. We just talking, doing what we do, if that's all right with y'all. So with that in mind, just want to again say welcome into everyone. I am super excited because it's one of my favorite segments for us to do. Why? Because something happens when men speak. I don't know about y'all. Maybe it's just me. I doubt it. There's a lot of ladies out here who will agree. But there's something about when a man starts talking. Sir, say it with your whole chest. Okay? Put me in my soft space. I don't mind. It's all good. Saying what Jill Scott said, if you could tell me what to do, you can tell me what to do. But if you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to do. But we appreciate our men. Tonight is the reset of the men's lounge. And so our fellas are in the house. These amazing men are coming in to have conversation. Now, ladies, before we get started, I want to ask all of you to just hit that thumbs up button if you would. Please, man, please, sir, just hit it. It's free 99 for you, but it means everything to us because it helps push us out into the algorithm of these YouTube streets. We do appreciate you. We are very, very grateful for all of your support, not just on Thursday nights, but on Monday nights as well, with Dr. Elaine and myself on Mondays Beyond the Mic. And if you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, it will alert you to every show that we have, so that you don't miss anything. You can always catch replays, but this is family here, and we appreciate everyone who's a part of the Bravo Nation. But we would be nothing, and we would be remiss if we did not give honor to the Queen Bee, Pastor Sheila Ingram, my Auntie Bravo, as I call her. So salute to you, Auntie Bravo. Thank you for yielding me this space in the captain's chair for a little while so we can come have some good, real conversation. We just keep it real. That's all. We're not trying to be nothing but real. So this is the place to do that. Our number one rule here is respect. So respect must always be displayed, whether you're on the panel or in the comment section. And we don't have to agree. It is not one voice, one sound. Everyone is free to share their thoughts, feelings, and opinions, whatever your moral compass is. As I always say, a lot of us up here who are on the panel, we are believers. So when we speak from a God place, referring as God as our center, our moral compass. If that's not you, hey, it's cool. We dig it. We not mad about it. And you're still, I'm going to say you are welcome here to share. So we're not here to argue and debate, but we want you to all share in a respectful manner so that we can have conversation and get to better understanding. However, if disrespect is displayed, whether it be on the panel or in the comment section, our wonderful moderator, Anae, who is the greatest to ever do it in these YouTube streets. See, she is here in the building, welcoming the people in. And just as sweet as she is when she hits those keys to say, hey, good evening to you personally and welcoming you in, she also has a quick finger that will boot you right out when disrespect is displayed. So we want to keep her fingers typing in a positive way and in greeting the people. Hey, Anae, we thank you so much for doing what you do. We love you and we appreciate you being here as always. So I believe that covers everything tonight. Before we get into this great conversation, because our special guest is in the building, I am super excited. I don't even know what to do. I don't know what to say. I don't even know where to begin. That's why I'm trying to calm myself. I got to pace myself for tonight. Y'all know I get excited because it's a double blessing, because not only is it the men's lounge, the men is talking tonight, but we have this amazing man who I came in contact with. He is fam. And I love his content. He is over on TikTok. He goes out there, Moose Be Strength. He does daily push-ups. I'm rocking out at maybe 2 push-ups. While he has done 96. He's literally doing push-ups. But I got two. I'm good for a good. That's better than a half. This was a half that I was doing before. It's better than. But I'm going to start trying to do the wall push-ups. Try to start there. Maybe I'll get 10 in. I don't know. We'll see. But he is amazing. So I'm going to encourage you guys to go follow him over on TikTok. And he will give you his information. Just an amazing spirit of wealth of, I want to say, pure encouragement. Very real, down to earth brother, but very, very serious and very committed to the cause. And I appreciate him. He fits right in with the. Y'all know, we got the best men over here on Thursday night. Y'all know it. Stop playing. They trend setting. We got the top of the top. Don't play with me. We big up all our men folk. I'm saying, listen, I am team man, okay? I'm for the girls, but I'm team brothers. We got you. You know what I'm saying? We got you. That's right. Now I'm gonna say this and put this out there: with every black woman is not against y'all. There's a few of us who are gonna cause a revolt up in the women's camp to get us all on the right page, so we could come support y'all. Okay, because we want y'all to be the greatness that you are meant to be. So I am excited about having them come up tonight and share and talk. Now, ladies, what I want you to do, though, this is the rule for tonight. This is our disclaimer. Y'all know we have disclaimers here because usually Sir Eric the Matador says something that we have to put our disclaimer for him up. But tonight, the disclaimer is, ladies, I want us to lean in. I want us to listen. Whatever the conversation is, I want us to be able to hear the men's heart, hear their positions, and let's not be combative as to what we may hear, whether we agree or not. We cannot. We're listening to what the men's perspective is and how they feel in their life and their experience. So I'm just going to ask us not to try to avoid making statements of like or responses that start with, but what about the ladies? And but what about when men do? And men do that too. We're not here to do that tonight. This is not that. Tonight we are leaning in, we are listening, and we are giving our men the floor. All right. So before I bring them to the platform and release them into this amazing conversation, I just want to greet everybody in the comment section, because once they get started, I'm turning them loose, and I might just disappear and just pop back later. So let's see who we have in the house. We have Pastor Rosa, aka Mama Rosa, aka legitimately my mom. She pushed me out. I am her fourth of 4 children. Okay, she saved the best for last. I love the rest of them. I'm just saying. I know I'm about to get trouble, but I did it. There was no need after that. She got everything else she needed. She said, "This is it." Whatever she missed in the first ones, she got in the fourth one. So here we are. So hi, Mom. Welcome in on tonight. I know my brothers and sisters, they're not surprised. They expect this foolishness from me. She said, "Good evening, all. Have a great show. Looking forward to it." Mama's leaning in. And we have my partner, Dr. Elaine Sanders, saying, "Good evening, Lady Dawn B." Hey, partner. How you, Dr. E? I'm glad that you are in the building on tonight. Let's see. Hey there, you. The intellectual soapbox is in the building, saying salute to Pastor Sheila and Lady Dawn. It is good to see you. I'm glad you are here tonight. And we have none other than, I call her Bravo Sweetheart. She is known as Coach Theo. Y'all know her. Y'all love her. You might just see her somewhere later on today. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But she is in the building. Excuse me, y'all. And we have, you'll see him shortly. The Matador, Sir Eric, is in the house on tonight. And for those who are up in the expensive seats in the silent sections, we want to say good evening to you and welcome in. Let's see. Hello, Kendra 313. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you being in the house. Welcome to the Bravo Nation fam. And we hope that you enjoy this conversation. And please do engage. Lean in and share your feelings, thoughts, and opinions. We are here to lean in and learn. So, with all that being said, y'all know him. Y'all love him. I have dubbed him Mr. Courageous Vulnerability himself. He's no stranger. He is part of our squad. And before I bring him up, let's see. We got one more comment. I apologize. Tyrell, I hope I'm saying it right. Forgive me if I'm not. Says, peace, everyone. Welcome in the building. Thank you for joining us tonight. Now, guys, please do like, share, and subscribe so that we can get some other good people in the house. You don't want to miss this. I feel it's going to be a dynamic conversation. So, as I was saying, Mr. Courageous Vulnerability himself was in the building. He is Justin, a.k.a. AJW, the poet, is in the house tonight. Welcome in. How we doing today, Justin?
I am okay. And yourself?
I'm good. I'm a little hyped up. I'm ready to go. Y'all done got me excited, because we got company in the house. So I'm a little excited about that,
Me too. This is I'm looking forward to this.
Me too. I'm excited. And I'm going to bring up our other, I'm sorry, y'all, something with my volume is not acting right. Okay, there we go. All right. And also on tonight, y'all know him. He was following the yellow brick road last Thursday night, and he was being very profound and giving us all types of
For those of you who have been around, you know what this means.
Right. Here we go. We have dubbed him Sir Eric the Matador. We don't bring him up. Welcome in, E. We don't know what profound, prolific preaching he shall do tonight, but we are sure to get some. How you doing?
Sure Brother E got a word for us.
Yeah, but I do. How you do?
All right.
Now he's going all the way.
Happy Thursday to all.
It's too early. I came in hot. I'm sorry. I thought it was turn the corner time. I thought it was 8:30.
I'm excited.
Hey,
I'm jumping the border tomorrow. I'm out of here. That's it.
What you said, Justin?
We started off at the Kona last week, so we might as well keep it there.
Right, might as well, right? Because we already there. I'm just saying. What, Indiana's Idris Jones. Give me. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. I'm trying.
No. I'm muting myself right now.
Please do. Yes, do that. Jones. I'm just gonna say Jones because I don't like jacking up nobody's name. My last name is crazy long, and so it just so we don't. I'm not gonna do it. So I'm gonna call you Jones. Well, thank you for joining us. Welcome in tonight, and we appreciate you being here. And let's see now. It's time to bring up the man of the hour. Again, he is amazing. He's gonna come. I feel like I'm in church now. He's gonna come in his own way. Let the Lord use you. I could say it's the preacher in me. I can't help it. I had shared a poem I don't remember if it was last week or the week before. I can't remember when, but I shared a poem that I think I'm going to read for him. And he's going to share some stuff as well. But he is our spotlight special guest on tonight. And he is none other than, listen, I'm just going to present him to you guys and, let you just do what you do from here. He's an experience. That's all I can say. He's going to encourage you. And we welcome him to the Bravo family. He is Moose B Strength. I kept calling him Moses. I didn't understand why, but I did figure it out. And I'm going to share with you. So welcome to the platform, Moses. How you doing?
Lady Dawn, we got to present to some and introduce to others.
Oh, yes. Come on. Thank you, Pastor. Excited. I got excited. Wait. Let me do it right. Let me hold up. Because I want you to have all of the bells and the whistles. So hold on. See, we got to put it back down.
Okay, you took them out the room?
Let's put some respect on it. We got to put. So tonight we want to present to some. We want to introduce to some and present to others. None other than our very own, new to the Bravo network for the very first time. He is a Bravo fan from here on out. He is none other than Moose B Strength, aka Moses. See, now he already has a nickname.
All right.
What's up? There you go.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me.
As you know, we have no sense here. We are glad that you are here. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing marvelous. I'm here with y'all.
Okay. Come on, talk about it. Okay, we're glad that you are here with us. So tonight, this is our reset of the men's lounge, and our men are going to be leading in some conversation. And it really made me think of what made me think on tonight was last week. Justin said he made a statement during one of our podcasts, one of the moments of the podcast, where we were talking about things from a man's perspective, and he mentioned the statement, I'm okay. When men are asked, we don't really stop to take the time to really ask each other, how are you? And then stay around for the answer. Okay, see, look, they greeting you. I can't not, put it up for you. I got to show you the people hollering at you. See? Okay. Everybody, there we go. All right. So he made a statement of, I'm okay, is the answer that most men give. We have made it so, I want to say, I love the fact that men are now speaking up more, speaking out more, are talking about the space of emotions. You are working as a unit to be heard and make it understood that you have feelings and that you go through things, and being able to give language to those feelings and express those feelings, even at this adult age where maybe as a kid, you were not even taught how to acknowledge those feelings. So you're never able to recognize what they were, Whereas girls or women, you know, we were taught, you know, the minute something happens and we get a prick on our finger and the littlest drop of blood, we crying and everybody's running to our side, you know. And just like, what is it? And take you inside and treating you and pampering you and putting a band-aid on it, when y'all as children, most were like, don't cry, you know, you a man, you're a boy, you know, you shake it off. Not allowing you to connect with those feelings, not allowing you to acknowledge, you know, what you are feeling. So a lot of men I've found, and when we speak here, speaking for everyone, because we cannot speak for every single person, but we are sharing from our experiences and for those that we do know. But we find that a lot of men, I don't want to say are emotionally unsound, but maybe emotionally unaware, because you've been taught to suppress it for so long. And now we're coming to the place of acknowledging what these emotions and feelings are. With that being said, we become accustomed to giving the response, I'm okay, all the time. Even when you're not okay, I'm okay. And I wanted to start off the conversation tonight by talking about the mask of I'm okay. Because a lot of men have to wear that mask. And that was one of the points that Justin was making, that even when I'm not all right, I have to be all right. And correct me if I'm wrong and stop me when I'm lying. You know, and I don't think we fully understand what that feeling is for men. To never be able to really have that breakdown moment, outside of, even sometimes I guess it's hard, maybe hard for you to have that breakdown moment even by yourself, because those voices of men don't cry, you know, may still echo. I don't know, you know, but I would believe that that would be something that happens. So I kind of wanted to start there with that. How do y'all feel about this statement of I'm okay, and taking off the mask of I'm okay? So I'm going to put it to I'm not going to call him our guest, our spotlight, Moose B Strength first. Give him the floor to open up and share, because we want to get an understanding of how we can support you through this journey, even as you're discovering on your own.
Thank you. Greetings again to Brother Justin, Brother Eric. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Can you guys in the comments hear me? Somebody let me know.
Somebody in the comments said they couldn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Diving right into it, Lady Dawn. Men, like you said earlier, we're not taught to share. We're not taught to express. It's a lot of negative that we can get from that. So it's not something we would do. I'm sure you've heard people talking about, even in relationships, people weaponizing men's feelings, people weaponizing what men think and talk about, you know? I'm sure you've heard that a lot. And I think for men, you know, knowledge is power, you know, and in order for me to do the things that I need to do, I can't look weak. I can't appear weak. So I can't share with you something that a normal human being experiences. So I think that's why that statement, I'm okay, for men, is destructive, because it leaves them, if they don't have a brother network, other men that they can turn to, it leaves them really open for depression, anxiety, you name it. And again, let me say this, I'm not an expert in those fields of studies, but as a man who's experienced these things, you know, I know that loneliness is, and I don't mean in so much of a mate. I mean loneliness and being able to express, to communicate, to talk to someone, to get your weight off your chest sometimes and not be judged about it. I think a lot of times that's what is disastrous for men.
And thank you for sharing that. You definitely given language to it, and I think that is important for us to have these conversations because there are men out there that are struggling internally, not knowing how to express or give language to, because no one, men aren't taught to talk to other men. If anything, and correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, my dad and my brothers, I remember growing up, my father was like a real, stern Bayesian man, so it wasn't, no, my brothers didn't get to, kind of show that side. They didn't get to express. They didn't get to fall into those spaces of weakness. And now as grown men, it is hard for them to express sometimes, even though we can, we can see that there's something inside that you want to get out, but it's that wall, that mask that goes up, that I can't release this here and I can't share this here. And I love the point that you made about loneliness, because a lot of us think that loneliness comes from just not having a mate or a partner. It's not that. It's not just that. There is a loneliness that exists, like you said, from not being able to express in community how you are feeling. So conversations like these are so important, I believe, and so very needed. And I'm glad that we are having them with strong men, and not just any kind of strong men. And this is not to ignore any other race, but our strong Black men, who need to normalize this. And men are thinking that there are no spaces for them to go. And this is a space right here that there are no other men that they can talk to. And there are 3 men right here. We always talk about women's groups and how, women have groups for everything. Well, we need groups for a whole bunch of stuff. And I've said it a million times. Do not be fooled by the millions of women's groups and conferences and kumbaya moments that we have, because truth be told, if they were working, we wouldn't need so many. A lot of them are honestly spaces for women to come and to commiserate over our frustrated commonalities. It's not a place for us to grow. It's not a place for us to, and men, y'all don't have that kind of, y'all not built for that type of tomfoolery, so the spaces that you need and you create are either going to be about getting to the root of the matter and walking out with an action plan and accountability, or not, is how I have seen from the outside. And again, and I could be wrong, and correct me if I am. But we have to get to that place of allowing our men, or supporting women, not allowing, but supporting our men when you're saying that I'm not okay, and helping you walk through that journey of having to say you're okay when you're not, So I want to thank you for your share. I'm going to flip it over to Justin.
I agree with Moose. I think that we have to I think we need to change the language around men's vulnerability, because it's not a weakness. We've identified it as a weakness, but it's just humanity. And it's important to acknowledge the humanity of all humans. And so I think if we don't have to say it's okay to show weakness, we can say it's okay to show humanity, because I think for the role of manhood, stoicism has its place. It's just been toxified in our culture, and men are the expectant. The way stoicism presents itself is that you kind of gotta be overly stoic. You know what I'm saying? You can't have a space of humanity. And like, I'm the type of person, I watch a lot of Animal Kingdom and stuff like that, and you can see the most ferocious male lion lay down and play with his kids. You'll see him walk up to his female lioness and rub heads with it and get soft, but let a hyena come around and you will see it's the other side. So I think we have to do our best to promote the full spectrum of humanity within men, and learn to accept that, because if we don't, it can be dangerous. And a lot of the problems that I think we experience as people is that we don't make space for the full scope of humanity to be expressed through everybody, men and women, I believe. But that's my thoughts on it.
No, and I agree with that. And thank you for your share. And welcome in everyone who has joined us. It is Thursday night. I'm your host, Lady Dawn B, here on the Bravo with Sheila Network. We, excuse me, are doing a reset of the men's lounge, reintroducing our space for men only, because something happens when men speak. And yes, I'm the only estrogen that's typically allowed on this segment. But I got news for y'all. Even I will be dropping off in a little bit because I just want the men to just dialogue amongst themselves. I'm gonna fall to the back for a little bit, in a little bit, and let our Justin lead, with some conversation if he does not mind. But I appreciate, your share. And before I comment further, I do want to just greet some people who came into the house. Let's see who we got here. And Mr. Lawson says, good evening, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. Dr. Real One podcast is in the house. Welcome in the building, saying, hey, everyone. Moses, it is good to see you speaking. Isn't it, though? Why? Because what I said, y'all, something happens when men speak. When y'all open your mouths, and I believe that this is why so many other people, cultures, and things, and even us as women, don't like for men to speak, because something happens. Your voices actually instill order. They change things. The minute y'all say something, I know it took my dad one time to say something and life changed every single time. Don't make him say nothing twice. So y'all have a power and an authority that a lot of others do not have. So we want to hear our men speaking. Alex McKnight is in the building. Welcome in. Hey, Quincy, how are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for joining in. Joe said, yes, he can hear you. That is awesome. Glad we could figure that out. Terrell says, but that's what the brotherhood is for. He's referring before to the comments about the men folk coming together. Let's see. Donna Clark says, hey, beautiful people. Hello and hello. God's Hammer is in the house. Welcome in. Thank you for joining. All right, y'all showing up tonight and showing out. So while y'all are showing up and showing out, if you would not mind, everyone, just hit that like button, that thumbs up, just real. You can do it while we chatting, while they talking. That's right. Just to, just don't smash it, because we want you to hit it again next Thursday. We don't want you to break it. We just want you to use it tonight. You can also subscribe to the channel, because we have other great conversations that do come. And go, let's see who else we have in the building. Paris Von Thomas is here, and we appreciate you being in the building. And look, see, this is why she's the greatest moderator to ever do it in these YouTube streets, because Anae says, everyone, you can follow Moose at Moose Be Strength on TikTok, and gave you the link. I'm telling you, you are going to want to hear her. Anae, listen, we're going to get you a raise, sis, for real. She does it, and no one else can have her. We will fight you for her, just so you know. Yeah, that will go down. So we have my mom making comments. So y'all know how I do. If you don't know, be halfway blind sometimes. So I'm not gonna be cute no more. Put my glasses on. She says, if I can share a thought, man being told not to cry. And this is my mom. Literally, she raised two boys who are monster men. Okay. In a good way. She says, if I can share a thought, men being told not to cry began as a way of teaching a man's son to be strong, going back to slavery. It was a matter of survival, but we brought it forward without explanation. And that is true. Thank you for that point, Mama. That is so important for us to remember where it came from, because we are carrying a lot of traditions, if you want to call them, a lot of habits that came from a time that is no longer serving us now. And a matter of fact, now it is detrimental to us. It is hurting us more than it is helping us. We are not in those same survival modes. What we are risking survival against now is different. Well, slavery shows up in a different way. But, what we really have to combat with survival now is very different from then. So thank you, Mom. That is a great point. And I see Moose shaking his head, so I definitely want to release the mic back to him in a moment. I just want to get through our comments because we appreciate y'all sharing your comments. Ken just says, agreed. In my experience, men are taught to internalize their emotions. They don't know how to articulate or deal with their feelings. And that is true. And I want y'all to share on those things as well. I don't want to say too much because I want the men to speak so that I can listen in. Quincy also says on Clubhouse, we need to talk station. We started a room every first and third Thursday for the men at 7:30, 8:30, safe space for men to talk and express with other men. And that is a wonderful resource and place that you can also go to share, and just for the men sometimes. And that's why I want to exit myself out a little bit of the conversation for a while, because there are spaces, women, we got to realize we don't need to be in every space. And that's about as gentle as I can say it, but I'm going to say it rough for those in the front. Now for those in the back, we don't need to be in every space that men have. We don't need to be in every conversation that men have. We don't need to have an opinion on everything that men say. We need to be able to sit back and listen and embrace and learn. And that is one thing that I'm looking forward to doing in a little bit. The Real Ones podcast says, agreed. Oh, welcome in, Paris. Good to see you. He says, Moose Moses. Yes, we have touched him, Moses. And I'm gonna share why before the night is over. I could not figure out why I kept calling. I know your name is Moose, and I was like, why do I keep calling him Moses? What is going on? But it came to me later on, and I'm gonna share with you. See, here we go. Paris is fighting with her brother Eric. Well, where's his hat? Okay, your sister dishing with Chef K. My sister Nessa invited me to the link. Finally worked for me. Welcome and glad that you made it in and that you are here. So Eric, do you want to share on what we have started talking about so far and what you've heard before I move further?
No, you can continue. I'm listening for now. Yes, continue.
Oh, all right. Okay, Matador, you got it. Okay. We have great conversation, but y'all know we cut up too. This is how real we keep it. Here we go, Just.
It's not even 8 o'clock yet. He already put the glasses on.
He said we started that turn. We left off turning the corner last week, so we picking up where we left off. That's all.
I swear to you, I'm gonna be good today.
Moose is no stranger to here. He has seen us act up, cut up. So, he's home. He's with fam. So he know how it goes. So I wanted to go back to Kenji's comment about agreed. In my experience, men are taught to internalize their emotions. They don't know how to articulate or deal with their feelings. I'm pretty sure we can all agree with that statement. But I think for me as a woman, my concern or my question would be like, how now being a grown man, when you were not learned, when you're not taught how to internalize or recognize your emotions, how to process them, now where you are, how does that affect you now? Like, how is that struggle to now as an adult with all the other experiences that you've had has to be difficult, because if no one's ever given you the language or the tools, like as a man, where do you begin? You know what I'm saying? Where do you begin to now? Because no one else has ever showed you. So who starts it? How do we open up or create a space, or men create a space so that other men can come and learn how to internalize and recognize their emotions? And then you have the men whose pride is still in the way of saying, nah, I ain't with that. As for simps and, all of that, whatever the verbiage is that they use today. But knowing that they need it, because without having that emotional intelligence, we are cutting ourselves off. And it's not just men, but it's women too. And we as women are expecting an emotion out of you that you were never even taught how to express, So I want to turn it to Moose to share on whatever you would like to.
No, I mean everyone's right. I mean, think about it, right? And I heard an illustration. I don't remember exactly where I got it from, but it was explaining, and maybe Justin knows, but it was explaining how men might be working with the 12 crown box. Those are my emotions, where the women have the 64 crown box. So they can go through the plethora of all their emotions, where men are confined to those particular ones, right? And it's difficult because it hurts with communication. Um, the biggest thing I can say, that a man has to be open to realizing that something's wrong. And I think that's where it first starts, because, you know, uh, not being able to express yourself, there's some frustration that comes with that. And for men, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, even in the comments, right? A lot of times, once frustration builds, then anger follows. So when anger follows, there's no clarity sometimes. So, I think when a man gets frustrated, he has to learn to pull back, but it's hard when that isn't taught. So that's where the space of us as other men come into play, and trying to also reach our youth, our young men, because, they're not expressing emotions, even though this is a society now where it seems like people can express themselves. Our young men are still not expressing themselves as well. So I think we need to do a big job of getting out there and promoting for men to find men to talk to before they can even talk to a woman. Like, they need to learn how to talk amongst themselves and express things that they don't, you know? So that's my hope. And, for me, I have a great group of brothers that have been with me, and Justin being one of them. I love them. Some of them in the comments right now. And from my teenage years to now, had I not had that, I don't know where I would be today. And, one O goes back to my eldest brother. Even to this day, I still hear his words. And that's where I learned to have space, to be able to talk, where there was no judgment, and he allowed me to branch out in all my crazy thoughts and ideas. And I think that's important. Even if we don't have fathers in our lives, as men, if you see other young men, it may be hard, but give them a look, give them an olive branch, let them know you're there to talk to, because that's what we need to do. It took us a long time to learn these things. The least we can do is share. So that's what I encourage any man listening: be available for another brother and our young brothers.
And
That's
that's
all. Yeah.
I love that. Be available. Do you think, Justin, did you want to share, or Eric, before I ask this question?
Um, no, I think what Moose said, he spoke. He spoke. I'll say he spoke for me as well. So I'll go with what he said.
I agree. I agree totally with what Moose said. Um, it we don't have enough in in our various living neighborhoods. We don't have enough mentorship programs for young men. Um, you have the Explorers program with the police department, but that's not enough. You understand? It has to be a mentor, because the Explorer program is both male and female. So you just need you we as men, young men, have to have our own programs to be able to mentor us. The girls got the Girl Scouts of America, the boys got the Boy Scouts of America, but we within our own neighborhoods have to have mentorship programs to mentor the young men in the neighborhoods. Like me, the area that I came from, very bad neighborhood. I got out of that neighborhood. I grew up in that neighborhood, but I never had any problems. I never had any problems from anybody in the neighborhood, mainly, basically, and so forth. So now I'm looked at as one of the old timers, so to speak, for the neighborhood and everything. And a lot of the young kids,
I'm not gonna say nothing.
yeah, a lot of the young kids in the area know who I am because me and their parents went to school together. So, if we went to junior high school together, we went to high school together, and now here I am having to mentor their kids and so forth. So, and their kids turned out fine because they they had a village of people that were able to come together to make sure that these kids did not get out of line and fall down the rabbit hole. And also a lot of them, yes, graduated junior high school, college, have their own families now. And all. And my graduating class of 2012 was the first high school graduating class that we had from the high school that we opened up. Now they don't went on couple of those kids. They're now in their 30s. They got families of their own. They got married. They know what adulthood and responsibility is because we taught that in the school of what it is to be an adult. When you leave out of this high school, what are you going to do? Have your action plan mapped out. You're going to go to college. After college, what are you going to do? You're going to get married. You're going to have kids, whatever the case may be. And we always told our young men in the school, this is not something to play around with. It's not, because a lot of the young men in our schools did not have fathers. So we, as the men in the school, took it upon ourselves to make sure we mentored these kids, mentor the boys, to make sure you don't get caught up in a situation with a young girl that you can't get yourself out of because you don't have a father around to guide you on the right way of doing stuff. Just like I had to teach Jay, we had to teach Jay, and so forth. So it's a hard situation, but you know, I wish we did have more programs like that in urban areas where these kids don't have fathers in their lives can get the mentorship that they need to make sure they don't end up in jail or worse.
Thank you for that, Eric. Bill shared and everything that you said, things that we need to keep in mind. I want to read these comments before we comment. I took my glasses off, now I can't see. Sorry, y'all. All right. The Real Ones podcast says, love hearing my brothers open up so honestly. Yes, it is very necessary, very refreshing. And I'm so glad that this is a space that is safe enough for them to do so, for us to have the real and necessary, conversations, not with the big fancy words and all that other stuff. Like we talking real, and I appreciate the men doing that because a lot of men have not in the past. Kendra 313 says, if you're not taught how to handle your emotions, especially as a Black man, you run into poor choices, cause lack of knowledge on how to deal, or at the worst, violence. These are options that happen. He also says, what helped me was being around other men. They were able to hold me accountable mentally or physically. They held me to standards that I couldn't see. That's good stuff right there. And I see y'all nodding your head, and I want to leave space for y'all to dialogue on that. Paris says, I saw a clip of a man getting flowers from a stranger. The impact on him was emotional and beautiful. Do most men like flowers?
I'm not going to answer.
I never got them, so I don't know.
I was going to say.
I've received my first flowers this year. That was the first time ever. I mean, it's nice. I think it's not so much about the flowers. It's more about the fact that you thought of something in a beautiful setting for me. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't get that. You're grinding, you're moving. It's on you to present flowers. It's on you to present candy. It's on you to present the trips. It's on you to present everything. And then you're left by the wayside, and no one thinks of giving you anything that's beautiful.
Right.
So, yeah.
Because you don't want another tie. They don't need another tie. They don't want another spatula. They don't need the latest barbecue sauce set, you know.
I don't want no SpongeBob socks, none of that.
Right. Nobody wants another grill. They don't want another. Go ahead, Justin.
I can always use another grill.
No, you don't need none.
No, I do.
A smoker.
Yeah.
Extra smoker.
Okay, well, ladies, leave the grill on the list. That, you know, but you get him the smoker 5,000. Get him the top notch one. Okay. I was gonna say, even from a woman's standpoint, Paris, I don't think most men can answer that question because they've never gotten them to say whether they can like him or not. And I say that from a woman's side, from the woman's side, because most of us are so busy, and you know, I'm about to get myself in trouble, but not really, because I can fight. Most of us don't think to buy our man flowers, don't think to buy him candy or any of those things, like Moose said. And why? Because we are taught that we are the prize, and that things should always come to us. Now, we may be the prize, but they are also the gift. And so we have to think of reciprocation when it comes to our men. Now, I am one who I'm a giver. I'm a gift giver. I believe men deserve everything a woman gets. And for those who don't know, share it. Sometimes we shared it before. I'm just gonna share it right now. Sir Eric and I, we are divorced. We were once married. We are best friends. We good. We cool. But this goes to show you, it's a whole nother dynamic. He is remarried. I love his wife. She is amazing. That's my girl. What's poppin', Tasha? You know, and we co-parent our son. You know, that's a whole nother show. We did that on Blended Families. But I'm saying that to say he legitimately can vouch for what I'm saying. Like, I do not give what I get. And women, we have to do that. And it may seem odd and it may seem strange, and maybe you won't send him, you know, the funeral floral arrangement like, you know, we like. But bring him a rose. Bring him some. Get him used to being treated and felt like he matters. And even if it's not what he likes, you won't know until we try. But it goes into showing him, like Moose said, I thought of you. You know, I wanted you to feel, I know how I feel when I get flowers. And so I may not have picked the right gift, but I wanted you to see how I feel. I want you to feel how I feel when I get flowers. So I bought you these flowers, you know, so that, see if you like it. And like Moose said, it's the first time you got flowers and you liked it. Didn't you like it? Because you lit up a little bit down there. You see? Now you're smiling, you know. So ladies, let's do better about that, you know. And maybe he'll be like, babe, I appreciate these. You know, I'm not really a flower guy, but I appreciate them. I'll be like, you know what? You're not a flower guy yet. But the fact that it made you smile shows me every now and then, you know. So we have to. But hearing this from the men, you won't know until you try or have the conversation. One thing I will say I've learned recently, and actually tell me, because y'all gonna help me with this one. I've come to kind of realize that women, we like surprises. You know, we most of the time surprises is something or whatever. I've come to realize, like, kind of maybe, you know, just a little sidebar conversation. Men, y'all don't like surprises. Y'all like information. You don't want to be surprised at something. Like, you rather somebody tell you about, like, this is what I want to do for you. Is that true? Like, give us some feedback so we know how to engage properly with y'all, you know. And I'm not saying surprise you like, oh, I bought a house, you know, or something. But I mean, just in the things that we think about with y'all. Do you like?
Know how I feel on surprises.
Well, you don't like anything.
Thank you. You remember, you know, the surprise you tried to pull off for my birthday party.
Really? That's what we do. That's all right. So this is the danger of having your ex on. Right. Good job, Justin. I need to my mind. This is the danger of having your ex, because they tell all type of stuff. He was wrong. He was wrong. I just made a mistake. He misinterpreted something that I said, and it wasn't for him. So then I had to tell myself, ruin the whole surprise.
And I'm gonna be a man about this. I was wrong about it, and when she told me, my best friend was on the phone with her, and she put him on speakerphone, and he had to tell the truth as to what was going on, and I broke down as a man and started crying. I cried. She wife at the time. I cried. I boo-hooed. I cried like a baby because she went out of her way to plan a surprise birthday party for me and have my best friend flown in from Atlanta for me to see. And that my best friend is like my brother. So that broke me down, made me cry. Because that was something special that she knew was gonna touch my heart. Yeah.
So that's why I say I was texting the friend of mine who was doing the music to ask him to meet up with me because he wasn't going to make it, but he had set the music on the CD. So I was like, okay, cool. We could just play it because I had the restaurant in this hotel, 20 of his friends, and was flying in. Now I was paying for it all, not out of a joint account, not out of it. I'm saying this as ladies, like, listen up now, take some notes, lean in. I was taking care of everything. All he needed to do was show up. But I text my friend, and we have a habit of, and we call our friends like, hey, love, or whatever, So I'm like, hey, love, all right, I can't meet with you right now. Maybe, in 2 hours I can, meet up, whatever, tomorrow. Okay, fine. Thought I was sending it to my friend, and I sent it to him instead. And so he's like, so, where you going? And I was like, no, it's not what you think. Oh, you cheating. It was a whole thing. So it was a surprise. Everybody kept quiet. I messed up my own surprise. Okay. And I was like, that's not the case. I was really trying to plan something for you. He wasn't trying to hear it because he was already pissed, and understandably so. So I had to call his best friend and be like, and his name is Eric also. I was like, E, listen, I need you to I got E. He's pissed. He thinks I'm cheating. This is what happened. I said, could you please tell him what's going on? His best friend gets on the phone and was like, so I don't know nothing about any of that. I was like, yo, and Eric went through the roof. At that point, I was like, E, stop playing though, for real. Like, this man is.
Yeah, I went 0 to 100.
And he was like, no, calm down. He was like, telling him the truth of what happened. And he was like, no, she really was. My flight is booked. My room is so when I say I go out, like I'm a giver, because I want you to have that feeling that I have for what you do for me. And also because I want you to know how much I appreciate you. Because men, y'all go to extreme lengths for the women that you love. For the people that you love. You sacrifice a lot and save very little, And so sometimes we as women, I feel like we should want to share that back. Want you to feel appreciated. Like you don't have to do anything tonight, like nothing. Just show up, So ladies, we have to be more mindful about how we are acknowledging and appreciating our men, because like Moose said, it's the primary fact was that someone thought of you, and went out of their way to do something about it. So, that's just a little fun story on the side. Now that y'all have learned more about us tonight, we'll move on in conversation.
Yes.
Thanks, Eric. Thanks a lot. So Alex McKnight says, I've had a lot of people help me along the way. I can never pay it back. All I can do is pay it forward. I think the beauty in that is the paying it forward right. Sometimes, and I don't think we should be doing things from spaces of wanting someone who's in need kind of to pay us back. It has to be an act of love. Welcome in, Patrick. Good to see you, Bishop. Glad you made it tonight. He says, never got flowers. All right. So, men, since y'all here, how many of y'all have ever, the men who are in the chat, if you've ever gotten flowers or rather, you know what? Okay, if you never got flowers, put a 1 in the chat. And then I want you to tell me where your women are so that I can go find them. If you have, we have a lady stalk, because I think that's interesting, to find out. Paris said women want smokers too. Welcome in, Landon. How you doing? Smoker, tender, cooking there. Okay. All right, come on. The smoker 5,000 is on the list. It's on the side. The men say that we listening. I hope y'all are taking notes, lady. Lean in. The Real One podcast. Eric said, hey, leave those comfy SpongeBob socks alone. Okay, all right. Get the SpongeBob socks. If y'all want the socks, we get you the socks. No problem. All right, we have some people agreeing here that men should be spoiled too. Yes, absolutely. Buy the men flowers and a damn teddy bear.
Well, I've gotten teddy bears, but never flowers.
Okay, now see, Paris, this is wrong attitude tonight, Paris. We are leaning in. We are not saying we're not going to do. We are leaning in. We are listening. We're being supportive. She said, but I'm not buying a grown man SpongeBob socks. We are buying grown men SpongeBob socks if that is what they want. If they would like SpongeBob socks, we're going to do it. Said men love cartoons, so stop hating on SpongeBob socks. Okay, listen, I am here for whatever. Oh, okay, so now we're switching up. Maybe they like Pokemon. I'm going to buy you whatever kind of socks it is that you like. That's what I'm going to buy. Let's see. If they like it, they can have it. I am team that. I am team. If you like it, you can have it. All right, let's see. Surprise. Kindred 313 says surprise combat training might be a love language for some men. Okay. Okay, I'm writing that down. All right. Surprise combat. I was talking about going do paper. Okay, Moose says yes. Justin, what say you?
Hi, baby. I got you a membership to the gun range. All that stuff works.
I don't know that we want to do that.
I need her to have the combat training. Because I might want to get dirty, but that's a whole nother story.
Okay, listen. It's almost. We started on the corner. Justin, don't you put your glasses on? We started on the corner. We can have that conversation too. Because I'm just okay. Never mind. Yes, I'm kind of stuck on that surprise combat trainer. That's a thing. That's the thing. I'm liking that. I was just sharing with one of my sisters earlier today. Was like, girl, we gotta go do some paintball. And she's like, paint? I was like, listen, there's a blessing in some paint. I was like, listen, okay, ladies, I'm telling you, get your stretcher on, okay, wrap it up with some extra padding or something. But yeah, go out there and again. Surprise combat training. All right, we're gonna move off that because I feel myself gravitating to 8:30 time. Let's see. All right, so the men who have never received flowers, okay, putting it in the chat. Hey, Rod, welcome in, honey bun. Y'all welcome in. Roger Brown is in the building on tonight. Has not received flowers. Huh?
I said, all right.
Welcome in. Good to see you. I'm so glad you made it. So I'm from the South. You can never have too many grills. Okay, all right. So we got the smoker 5,000. We got it. Ladies, that's on top. Don't be cheap. We ain't gonna be cheap about it. We're gonna treat our men like men. Okay. Paris says paintball party, let's go. All right, see, so you got 2 for special combat training. I'm down. I'm down for it. Okay,
oh yeah. She going? I'm definitely gonna sign up now.
Oh Lord.
This has got to end.
I don't think it's meant to be. The Real One. Listen, that's 8:30.
I'm joking.
We never know where the conversation is gonna go. So it's okay. We let it live. We let it breathe. We let it develop on its own. That's all we saying. So welcome in, y'all. For those of you who are just tuning in, if I did not greet you, I do apologize. We are having a great discussion. It is the men's lounge night tonight. It is a reset. We are talking, we started out talking about the mask of I'm okay. But now that we're starting to get this mask off, we find there's some other things out, some underlying information, which is, very informative, right? Writing it down. Just saying. I don't know. Justin, you might have to take over a little sooner because my mind is stuck somewhere. I got to bring
I'm
it.
ready when you are.
I'm about to tag you in. So Theo says, but do you also recognize his vulnerabilities? He is fragile, timid, in need of your protection, affection, and patience. Panel, what does this statement stir in you? So let me read it again, and then we're going to start from Moose to Eric to Justin. That's in, I believe, asking the women. But do you also recognize his vulnerabilities? He is fragile, timid, in need of your protection, affection, and patience. Panel, what does this statement stir in you? Does it stir something in you? And if so, what? Because we leaning in and learning tonight.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, as a man, when I choose the woman that I want to be with, what I'm also choosing is that I'm choosing a person that I can be the full aspect of who I am that I can't even show the world. And if I can't find that in her, and if I can't be that in her, then, it feels like, what's the purpose? So there is an aspect of me being protected by my woman, but it's not in the sense of how I protect her. It's like yin and yang, right?
Yeah.
So there is aspects of me that I need her to protect, aspects of me that I need her to see and fight for when I can't see, just like I would do for her. I want to feel protected from things that I can't see that she can deal with, i.e. family, in-laws, whatever it may be, right? There are certain things that you look for in a mate, in your spouse, that I think should always be on the table. Like, I got you, you got me. You know what I'm saying? And the affection, understanding there's some fragility to me, all of that is important. It's like it's a combination. Like, because when I first met Justin, I met Justin through another panel he was on, but it was something that he said that struck me that I had never verbalized over the years, was that as a man, I just want to be seen as human too. And I don't think I look for that in the world. I think I look for that in my woman. Like, can she see me with my flaws, my flukes, all of that aspects of me, and still see me? Still see the man she loved by me expressing whether it's me being timid and you can't see it because I'm such an extrovert, or me always second guessing myself because, newsflash, as men we make decisions, but we know we ain't always right. We don't know if it's right. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that, we're making decisions because we have to. We're stepping in and doing things because we have to, because inaction is not also a healthy thing either. So somebody's got to do something, right? So when all of these things either go for good or for bad, can you still see me for who I am? So I think, the protection, the seeing me, the affection, all of that is part of giving your man something that he can't get from nowhere. As much as I love my brothers, there is an aspect of me that they can't touch. It doesn't matter. That space is reserved for that person that I choose to be my mate. And if she can't realize that and safeguard it and protect it, then she's not for me.
That's good. And you got me thinking, and I hope again, ladies, we are leaning in and listening. And I want the other gentleman to share, but it made your response made me think of wanting that and wanting your woman to be that to you. Um, on one hand, I want to say you since we're having this dialogue, you have to allow us as women to be your best friend. You know, to allow me, because not all men do that, as you've, I mean, eloquently expressed and gave language to, and I'm hearing you in a different way. A lot of women want to be that, those things and that space for you, but it's almost like the mirror of that is some men will allow themselves to show that, or to maybe express they need that, so that we can be that, because you think that if you do, we're not going to respect you. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to slow walk it, mirror the female side of what you're saying. So how do we make our, how do we show ourselves, how do we show up to be that for you, in a sense? Am I making sense? I'm trying to.
You make perfect sense. What I would say is we've had a couple illustrations before, and one of them was like, you don't treat me like the latest thing, like your bag that you so much want, and then 3 years later you want a different version, right? You can't just put me away. The problem that we have is sometimes is that a man will open himself up to be that for the woman he chose, right? The problem is the first time she weaponizes it,
Yeah.
she's lost him.
Yeah.
It's done. The first time it's weaponized, because we don't have that space anywhere. And if I thought you were my safe haven, and the first time you weaponize it, it's like, it's done.
Right.
I give an illustration, right? A story I heard. There was a story about an African man who had a cane, and his cane was passed down from father to father, generation to generation. And, that cane never touched the ground. And he ended up marrying the love of his life. And one day she decided to ask him about the cane. And he said, this cane is special in my family. If it ever were to touch the ground, and again, now I'm paraphrasing this story, but if it were to ever touch the ground, I would die. So even when he goes home, the cane goes up on a shelf and it doesn't go anywhere else. It never touches the ground. So one day, him and his love of his life had an argument. From his perspective, just a simple argument. But she was so angry at her husband that she ran and grabbed the cane off the shelf. And he's like, "What are you doing?" And she runs out. And she's standing in the field. And he looks at her. He's like, "What are you doing?" And she throws the cane into the ground and looks at him, waiting for him to die. And he laughs, because now everything makes sense now. Look, you can't weaponize what I give you. You're supposed to take what I give you and make something more of it, not weaponize it. If you hurt me, how can I be at 100 to protect you and do everything you need me to do? I just can't. It's like hugging somebody while they're stabbing you. So it's not that men don't want women to be that for them, the woman that they choose. It's the moment that he feels unsafe with you.
Got it. That's good. Gotta let that breathe. So, ladies, what I would take from this side of it is, and this is something I vowed myself. I'm not perfect, but I vowed myself I would never do, and I never do. Like I take a lot of venom and I don't spew it back. But when a man chooses you, and this is just from what I'm pulling from what you're saying, um, on my side, he's choosing you because he sees that safety in you to begin with. So you automatically have a degree of being his safe space. Now, what you do with it is what makes the difference. You got to grow that space to be bigger by continuing to show up and continuing to hold his secrets. I like to feel like we have a womb for a reason, and that's a vault where I'm built with the capacity, because you see the capacity in me to bear your weight, so to speak, And when he does put that weight on you, don't turn around and throw it at him, calling him weak, or don't use it against. And we all know what the term weaponizing means, and we all know what we're doing, and that's with intentional hurt, because I feel like when we do that, that's someone, when we're able to weaponize what you tell us or what you give us against you, I firmly believe we never loved you or cared for you to begin with, because there's just certain things that will not be present with people that you love. And especially with the man that you love, the man that has protected you and done all of these things to you, with you, for you. And in a moment, because of one thing, you throw everything else out of the way, which then speaks to the humanization that Justin shares about. He's a human being who's going to make a mistake somewhere, but don't use that against him. So that's really good. Thank you for that. That's a lot for me. I'm writing stuff down. Come on, Eric. There's another question in the chat that I do want to get to and share some comments. I hope y'all are enjoying this conversation. I know I am. I'm leaning in, I'm listening, and I'm learning. That's Castile wanted the panel to share. So real quick, Eric, what does this statement mean? Does it stir something in you about us remembering that he's fragile, timid, in need of your protection, affection, and patience? Does that stir something in you as a man?
As a man, yes, because we're not supposed to be fragile. Women don't look at us as fragile. They look at us as being protectors. So the fragile is not an option when it comes to being in a relationship, because of the fact that we're supposed to be the strong ones. We're supposed to be the protectors. We're supposed to be the providers. We women are more affectionate than men in certain areas. I was trying to still go off of the question because I'm still looking at the question. But
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Okay. It's all right, because I can scroll back up to it. So, oh, thank you. The patience part, we can have a lot of patience with certain situations.
Well, it's not. Hold on. It's not about you having the patience.
It's about the woman having.
It's about, these are the things that we as women have to remember in dealing with you.
Well, okay.
That you as men have some fragility to you, that you have some timidity to you, that you also are in need of protection, affection, and patience. Are these things that you need that are going to? Okay.
Yes, I need to have my heart protected, just like you need to have your heart protected. It can't be a one-way street on that. You can't say, well, you're supposed to love me, and I can't say it back to you. You're supposed to love me, and I'm supposed to love you. It's supposed to be an equal parts in this whole situation. I want to be able to trust you with everything, good, bad, and difference, my secrets. Um, if you want to be my best friend, you cannot throw my secrets up in my face because my best friend does not do that. My best friend is guarding my secrets with their life, just like I guard their secrets with my life. There's never going to be a time that me and my best friend is going to get into an argument and I'm going to throw something up in his or her face. I'm not going to do that because that damages your relationship. So women have to look at it like that. When your spouse, your mate is asking you to guard their secrets, you can't at the drop of a dime because you get into an argument decide that you want to pull one of his secrets out of the vault and throw it up in his face, because that's going to damage the trust in the relationship, and it might just break y'all up because of the fact that he knows he can't trust you because you couldn't keep the secret because you want to throw the secret back up in that person's face. So I'm not gonna be able to lay my head. I'm not gonna be able to lay next to you knowing that you can't hold water.
Well, rather the water you holding, you gonna try to drown me with. That's
Right.
the problem.
That's a dangerous situation because you
Yeah.
don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like you never look. The secret that you're holding could be the secret that could put this person behind bars for life. And because you wanted to blurt it out, thinking, well, we're just having an argument, you blurt it out. You don't know who's around that's going to hear it. So now
Yeah.
you open up a can of worms that you cannot close.
All right. So we have to be very mindful again, ladies, just so that we can make intelligent choices and mindful of the gift again that men are to us. It's not about us just being a prize. Men are the gift. Or if you want to be the gift, then you be the gift, but he is the prize. Regardless, either way you look at it, everybody is something. You're a gift or a prize. And if you're not either one of those to each other, then you should not be together. Why? Because you value a prize because of what you had to put in to win it. And a lot of times we value gifts because of who gave it to us and what it means, so we need to take care of those things. Theo says, thank you for that share. Eric Theo says, thanks, Moose. That statement is from a poem, See Each Other. Do you know the author by chance? Let's see. Wow, look at that. I'm going to give it a minute. Paris says,
Sorry.
there's another question. Mary says, so for those women who have weaponized that space, where's the forgiveness and healing and room for growth? I would just, before the men respond, you don't even have to respond. This is a good question, Paris. But as I said in the beginning, I don't think you were here, but tonight we are going at a different angle. We and not so much that this is a challenging question to the men, but we want to give the men the space to share how they feel without having to, in a sense, consider the other things. This is just their space right now. I'm sure that forgiveness and healing, and the room for growth, it does come, on the other side of it. But the key to it all is that we have to sit in the fact that we should not be weaponizing anything that our mates share with us that will put them in a position to then have to forgive. And now we have to work on healing. And then we have to learn how to grow forward, all because we chose to use what they shared with us against them. So that's really the root of it. Forgiveness and healing and room for growth definitely does come. So I did want to address your question, but the key to it all is that let's not weaponize, and then we don't have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Let's make the choices that cause us, that don't put us in those positions where we have to. I mean, things do happen unintentionally as well as intentionally, and those, that's understandable. But when we weaponize something, you pick up a weapon knowing what you're going to do with it, Oh no, I know you. I know you weren't here at the beginning. That's why I was saying, no shots. I'm just saying that's why I was sharing. I wanted to acknowledge it, but we are more or less, hearing from our men, wanting to hear from them in that space. But I know that there is forgiveness if again, we value relationships, so we're going to do what we need to do after that. But we as women have to sit in that weaponized, that point of weaponizing. We got to sit in that, and we have to change that. And don't worry, next week is the women's turn. Where's the women's panel? Where we gonna go in. The Real Ones podcast says we both the prize. That's good. Listen, however you want to be the prize, the gift, y'all both. It's the point of us valuing one another. Hey, mommy,
real quick,
time.
We're both the prize. Look at it as the Cracker Jack box. Inside the Cracker Jack box, you not only have the prize, but you have the Cracker Jacks, which is the popcorn. So both of them are the prize, because the purpose of opening the box is to get what's inside. And what's inside is the prize. It's both the popcorn and the surprise prize that's in there. So yes, you both do. You both are the prize. You just look at yourself as both being in the box.
However you want to look at it, all I'm saying is let's value each other for what we are. Value each, act like that, know that, don't even act like it. Know that person matters and treat them as such. The Real One says this, the whole damn truth. All right. I'm with you. Say with your chest. Denitra, welcome in. Hey fam, proud of you. Love these amazing combos. Welcome in. So glad that you are with us today. Okay. But no, Paris, thank you. That was a good point, a good question. And I wanted just to touch on that before. So there's a couple of requests. Theodore says, Arthur Wilson, please expound on that statement. And I'm going to give him the floor to do so. And before I do, because I think this was a really good question and I want the men to share. And I'm going to pop off and let Justin lead for a bit at this point, because I think that this is something that our men should talk about. So ladies, let's continue to lean in. So Theo wants you to expound on that point, on that statement. Author Justin. And after you do, here is the question that you can lead further in the conversation on tonight. I hope y'all are enjoying this. Please hit that thumbs up button if you have not. Also hit that subscribe button. You can be notified every time we have these amazing real conversations here on the Bravo with Sheila Network. I'm your Thursday night host, Lady Dawn B, and I am excited to be here. I'm so grateful for our spotlight. He's not a guest, he's family in the spotlight tonight. Moose B Strength. I can't wait for him to share some of his poetry, because you don't know, I'll be going to look every day for the daily push-up, because I know either in that or after that there's going to be something poetic that's said. Okay, I'm just saying, I saw something he posted, Angel 2 or Angel Part 2. I think I watched it 9,000 times. I was just like, keep talking, sir, keep talking. It was good stuff. So the question to the panel, I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to let Justin expound on his statement from that Theo shared, and then you can run with the question. Do your thing, Justin, and I'll be back later. Question to the panel is, with recent current events, what would be your advice for young men on dealing with emotions, starting healthy relationships, and mental health? So before you get into that, I'm going to ask you to, hold on one second. Pastor Sheila Bravo with Sheila is in the house. She says blessings. She is the curator and the owner of this amazing network. Welcome in, Auntie Bravo. So glad you made it. Glad to see you, and thank you for doing what you do. Official Mayor says, what's up, my brothers in the building on tonight? Welcome in again. Mommy needs a timeout. So I'm going to pop up this question. Arthur Wilson, please expound on that statement that was read, and I'm going to leave up this question, or let me know when you're ready for the question, and I can pop it back up for you. Do you need me to put the statement back up?
Um, you can.
Okay.
So in terms of the question, when I wrote it and put it in the book, see, the poem "See Each Other," I, the point of "See Each Other" was to put on display that men and women ultimately, in my belief, want the same thing. Men have fragility. It's a different type of fragility. It's the type of fragility that one, maybe two, but definitely one woman will get access to. After that, everybody gets the blame because it hurts too much to ever expose that again. Um, and that fragility is to that woman. So when a man loves a woman, he becomes fragile, he becomes timid, he needs protection and affection and patience from her because we will acknowledge men, not talking about males, men will acknowledge our weaknesses, we will acknowledge our wrongs. And in an effort to create a space that both people can occupy in safely, it requires that a man expose himself in a way that allows him to be fragile. He has to, in order for him to come to that house and not be a tyrant, he has to be able to walk into that safe space and take off the armor. And where there is no armor, there is fragility. That's just how that works. The armor is to protect the fragile parts, is to protect the timid parts. Um, but when I take when a man takes that protection off, he still needs protection, especially with the person that he's in this space with. You're literally the only person that can hurt the man in that way. And after that, everybody else get a shell. Um, and I do believe it's possible. It's just going to be a lot more work to get that man to be vulnerable in that way. And if you read the piece, the man has to learn the fragility and timid areas of that woman in this one-on-one space, because when we're in this one-on-one space, in order for us to make it, I need to be able to see you, and I need you to be able to see me, and I need you to protect me like I protect you. I need you to be affectionate with me like I'm being affectionate. I need your patience. And so um for me, it was just, when I wrote my thinking was, let's get away from this us versus them, who can get who first mentality being promoted on the internet, and let's see each other, me and you against the world. You know what I'm saying? So when I go out and I got to put on this armor, that's what I'm gonna do out there. But when I come home, that armor is heavy. That armor is the stress of life. That armor is the stress of walking out in these streets as a black man in America who, before you are your clean record, your education, your poetry, your pastoring, your loyalty, your good character, before you're anything, not knocking no other races, but before you're anything, you're a black man in America. That could be a very dangerous thing to be. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to speak your political views. The assumption is that you got problematic political views, you got a problematic job, you got a problematic disposition. Everything about you in media makes you out to be a monster. And I just need at least one person that knows that that's not me. But don't tell everybody that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need you to be my Sarabi. I'll be Mufasa, but I need you to be my Sarabi, and I need you to cover me. And I don't need brothers like Scar. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, that's when I wrote it. That's what I was thinking about. I would love to see us in a place. Yeah, team us. That's my focus in terms of relationship. If I can get me a us, I'm good. So yeah, that was my part on it. Um, and I think all men need that. Now, if Lady Dawn don't mind, she can go back to the other question. Because I definitely that question is in line with something I wanted to talk about. Brother Kendra said, with recent current events, what would be your advice for young men dealing with emotions, starting healthy relationships and mental health? Um, I'm gonna ask the other brothers on the panel this. I'll give my speech if there's time after, but what I say about it after. But I think it's important that the other brothers have theirs, and being that we're focusing on Moose, we're gonna have Moose go first. Moose, I'd like you to answer that question, but also I would like you to keep in mind this month is Unalivement Prevention Month, Self Unalivement Prevention Month, and so even with that in mind, are you able to? What would be your response to a question like this, including that aspect of it?
Can you hear me? Okay. Um, I mean, that's it's a very, how do I say it? The question really speaks to a lot of things, but the first and foremost one is the emotions and mental health, right? I think those are tied in. And you guys can still hear me, right? Okay. So emotional and mental health, that's really big. Um, uh, Eric spoke on it earlier. I think we need more mentor groups. We need more people reaching out to men in this time, especially Black boys and Black men, to see if they're okay and to create that bond, that brotherhood. Um, Even with talking with Justin before, you know, Man Village, right? Like things of that nature, so that way men can start to learn to process and deal with emotions that were shut off, thought processes that were shut off, and deal with their mental health. I think that component is most important first, then the relationship part. Then a relationship should come after, you know, you've done the work to get healthy. um, that's my thought. That's the order. I think mental health and emotions first, then look towards a healthy relationship. My advice would be that if a man doesn't truly isn't in tune with himself and knows who he is, that he should not strive for a relationship as of yet.
Brother Eric?
I'm sorry, excuse me. I totally agree that the emotions and mental health do play. They are intertwined with each other, um, because when we say young men, I'm gonna go back to this. I'll just start out. When we say young men, let's start out. Let's say teenagers turning 12, 13, 14. They deal with a lot of emotions. They deal with a lot of mental health issues in school. They're dealing with bullying, and teasing and so forth, because maybe they're not dressing as fly as the next group of kids and stuff like that. So that's a mental thing that plays with them, and that also messes with their emotions, because now they're wondering, well, why is it I can't have the same stuff that Johnny and his little group of friends have? I want to ask my parents, how come I can't have these things? So the emotions, he's going home with all these emotions going through him, and sitting down and talking to his parents and trying to have these conversations with his parents, but his parents are not understanding what he's dealing with, because he's not able to express the frustration that's going on with him. So as parents, you have to be able to recognize that something's going on with your child. Um, I would, I mean, I've done this where I've given parents advice, I've given kids advice. I've had to deal with it with my own son, where he was having, you know, his emotions going through the roof, and you know, the issues in school and stuff like that. And we had to sit down and we had to talk to him. We had to get him help and so forth. And you can't be too proud to get your child help, and you as a young man can't be too proud to not ask for help. If you don't know how to go about getting the help, you can always ask someone for help. As vast as the knowledge the internet is at this present time, we can always find an answer. We can always get you help. You want to deal with you want a healthy relationship. You want to be able to make yourself right, so that way you're healthy for the next person who comes into your life, because you don't want the stuff that's going on in your life to carry over into a relationship that you're trying to start. You have to be able to leave the stuff that is bothering you on the outside if you want to deal with what's going on with the new relationship on the inside. You deal with them situations first.
I agree with what both of y'all brothers said, and just kind of leaning in to the example Eric gave in terms of a young man that's not able to put on the most recent or flyest apparel. Um, I think that's where the value of hard work has to be discussed amongst men, younger men, having conversations, being in an environment that allows the humanity of men to flourish and be a thing. I joined Men Village like a year ago, and that was the first time I sat in a space where that was like a thing where you've seen grown men expressing themselves, getting emotional, releasing tears and releasing different emotions. And I think like just like just like rap music has told young men how to get to the top in an expedited way, the exposure to what the roadmap to quick financial increase, I think emotional intelligence has to be something that is shown without all of the vitriol that so much of the internet puts on display amongst us. And so I definitely think that is a the, it, before relationships is mental health, and then once you get into mental health, you get an understanding of how your emotions work, or at least why they are working that way. Because I think the question really is why is it like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I feeling this way because I don't have a pair of Jordans? And so that's my thoughts. But uh, brother Moose, like to be more of an example, to give more of an example. I learn better by example. So I'm gonna ask a question in the form that I would like for you to give an example. Like, I'm a young man in a situation where I don't have the flyest gear or the newest gear, whatever they call it, drip. I'm old, so I don't know the new terminologies. Um, what do you say to me to help me understand why having that, how I should feel about having that, and why?
I think for me, it's a little bit different, right? I want to know why you want it. So
Mhm.
that's my first question, right? Like, why do you feel you need it? To
I
just
want
get.
it.
Mhm.
I want it because that's how I'm gonna get the ladies, and I need everybody else got it.
Okay. So you want it for the lady. So what are you going to do once you get the lady?
I don't know. That part is I just gotta get her first.
So are you going to always have to do that to get the woman?
I mean, yeah, but I'm always do what I gotta do so that I could be dripped out.
No doubt. I get that. Now, let me ask you a question, though. How will they ever get to know you?
I feel like that is me because I'm a hustler.
Yeah, but now you showing a facade because everything you're doing, you're just getting everything just so that you can get them. You're not getting it because you want it. So
But why would
everything that
she want me if I don't have anything?
so do you want somebody who wants you because you have things, or you want somebody that wants you because of you?
Everybody wants you because you have things.
Not necessarily. There's a lot of people that do, but not everybody does. You got to find that diamond in the rough. You ain't gonna be able to find the diamond in the rough if you presenting a facade.
I mean, maybe that's for brothers you and Eric age, but what about um the is we young,
Wait,
we gotta have drip.
how old are you?
I'm young.
All right, look, let me tell you something. Your brain ain't fully developed till about 27. That's what they say now. All right.
Okay.
So that mean to me, like you're gonna change your thought process quite a few times before 27. So I'm gonna tell you right now, you need to start thinking about your future. All right, let's just go with the fact that you want the drip and you want all the latest stuff. And you want to do whatever you got to do to get the woman, right? Let's say you going out there, you hustling, you doing all of that, and you get all that. Let's say tomorrow, God forbid, you have an accident or something that prevents you from being able to get that going further. How you gonna get the women after that? Sorry, no more. All right.
I mean,
Hmm.
I ain't never thought about that.
I mean, I want you. I want you. That my shirt. Put it on. So, what I want for you is to first find you. You don't even know who you are right now because you're trying to put on the mask to be something for other people. But you need to be you for you. You need to be able to look in the mirror and see you and love who you see and know who you see.
But how can I look in the mirror and love who I see if I don't got nothing?
Beloved, you are everything. And everything that you want and need resides in you. But you don't know that yet because you haven't found you yet. That's the hardest part is how to find you. Let me ask you, when you're hungry, you know how you feel?
Yeah.
Okay. When you're happy, do you know how you feel?
Yeah.
Okay. These are aspects of you. There's so much more to you that you need to figure out. There's a lot of aspects of you that you have to experience and get to know and understand. And I promise you, beloved, if you figure that out and learn who you are at the end of the day, Justin, like when everything is stripped away, you know who you are and you love who that person is, that doesn't have to get the lure of the world to draw people in. You are the lure of the world. If you don't know who that person is, you got to spend the time finding him because that's what's going to bring you everything. It ain't the possessions because all that stuff can just go in the drop of a dime. And then that woman that you worked so hard to collect these collectibles to get will walk to the next man who got more. So what you looking for? Are you looking for somebody that's gonna be there with you? Or are you just looking for the quick hit and miss, you know?
I'm
What you
looking
looking
for a
for?
baddie.
Yeah. Did you ever figure out what baddies need? Is that
I
something
mean,
you want to commit to?
like as long as I got my stuff together and I'm gonna keep hustling and grinding, I'm gonna be good, right?
Okay. Depending on how you're hustling and grinding, right? There's two avenues, right? Depending on which avenue you take, they both got some bumps in the roads, depending on what avenue you take. It's a lot to maintain. And what happens when you can't maintain it? That baddie gonna leave you. You're not of any value anymore. And listen, I'm gonna tell you something. As a man, you will always go through ups and downs, the even flows of life. You ain't always gonna be on top. You're gonna have some recessions in there. Great, great societies go through this as well. It doesn't take away from your greatness, but I'm just saying, at some point in time, you might not have what you have been working so hard to have. What happens then? Because that's what you've been living towards. You ain't been living to cultivate you to be a solid individual, to be a strong man in thought, mind, and spirit. You haven't
So
cultivated your relationship with the creator.
so I hear you talking about the strong man in mind, body, and spirit, but who gonna tell me? Like, cause you know what I'm saying? Like, don't nobody talk about that in the streets. This the first
Because,
time I ever heard about something like that. When everything that I get told tells me that as long as I got the money, I'm good.
yeah, because that's taking a perspective from a fallen world. But that's a whole nother conversation. I'm trying to get you first to find you. And in that process of trying to find you, these are the things that you need to focus on.
So let me ask you this, because when I see me, I'm a black man, and everything this culture tell me that I am, how I'm supposed to feel good about that? I see y'all. I don't know what y'all did different. Y'all got things going on, but how am I supposed to feel about being a black man when my life is dispensable? Other black men killing me, other men killing me. Even if I did go to school and get a massive education, they ain't gonna hire me. So you tell me what I'm supposed to do.
I'm going to tell you what to do, what our people have been doing: overcoming, creating, being innovative. I guarantee you, if you were sit down and talk with you, have a conversation with you would have some ideas inside you for your future. That these obstacles that you're seeing, that you can overcome. But again, if you don't know you, how are you going to figure that out? You got to spend the time with you. I guarantee you. Look, there's probably let's be real, right? There's some women before that you may have tried to get, right? And you figured out what you had to do to get her, right? You use your greatest asset, which is your brain, to figure it out to get to her. I need you to put that intention in you. I need you to utilize that creativity, that innovation that is embedded in you, that is gifted in you, to figure out how to be the best version of you. That even without all the glam and the glitter, that version of you will always rise on top. And I guarantee you, if you were to look into the stories of our people and our history, you'll see, despite all the things that they do and try to show our lack of worth, you still gonna rise and be on top. It don't
So you
matter what they
saying,
do.
I could be all of the same things that you are and that Mr. Eric is. Like I could be all of the same thing.
Beyond that, you can be beyond that. There is no limit to what you can be. I am who I am because I've limited me. I'm learning to break my limits too. You can be more
Mr.
than that.
Eric, is that true?
Wholeheartedly, Wholeheartedly so. And I'll do you even one better. You can always reach out to me if you need to sit down and talk and try to figure out your future the right way. Because I've had friends who I went to junior high school and high school with that did 25, 30 years in jail because wanted they wanted the freshest gear, and the way that they only way they knew how to get the freshest gear was to sell drugs. And when you start selling drugs and you start getting money, you start flashing, and the girls start coming out. That's the wrong kind of attention that you want to bring to yourself. So you can always call me. We can hook up and go out to lunch. We can sit down and figure out a path.
But like, man, I don't know. Like, I ain't had no daddy growing up, so
Guess what? Neither did I. Neither did I.
then me and you can have this conversation. But what about Moose? He can't really be a part of this part of the conversation
Why not?
because he had a daddy.
So what? He has experience, doesn't he?
I don't know. I don't know. Moose. So tell me this. Like, you mean to tell me like I can go to other men, black men, and they willing to help me be more?
Yeah, there's men out there, brother. As with all things, right? You have to be wise in who you choose to speak to, right? We've seen even there's some men out there that will lead you down the same path they've been. There's some men like me and Eric that's gonna put you on top of our shoulder to get you to new heights, bro. But you gotta find those type of men. And sometimes they're not in the spots that glitters and gleams, you know? They're not in those spots. And you wouldn't see that if you're looking for, you know, all the latest things just to catch the woman, you know?
I mean, but what else am I supposed to do? Like, I'm ain't we supposed to chase women?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you how. Please leave that alone. I know, but I'm gonna send you out of here now. Okay. So what I'm gonna tell you, brother, is this, right? I'm gonna tell you to build, and they will come. I'm gonna tell you that you are the Lord, not anything else that you acquire. It's you. Everything that you do is gonna pull. Excuse me. I tell you how I tell even younger kids in here, younger boys that I deal with. I tell them that they should pursue and chase their dreams. All right? Pursue and chase your dreams. You will always lose money chasing women. You will never lose women chasing your money. Pursue your dreams. Pursue the things that you really want to do. Like, come on, outside of all of this, there got to be something else you like, something you into, something you probably don't talk to anybody about.
I mean, I like writing books.
Now, what you want to write books about?
I don't know. After talking to y'all, I'm looking at things differently. So I probably want to, do some research and learn
And that's a
more
start.
about life.
Listen, I'm telling you, look, remember again, if you are the Lord, if you are everything that you produce is going to be gold. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you never know. There's probably some young brothers that's looking at you, that's looking at you as an example. You understand what I'm saying? And you don't even know it. But they following you.
I'll be honest with you. I'm sitting here and I'm proud. Like I see your son in the background, and he might be disturbing you, whatever, but that ain't something I have experienced. And I want to shout you out for that because that's a major thing. I've heard Mr. Eric talk about how him and his son talk. Like that's a major thing. I ain't never experienced that, and I think it's dope that y'all say that. You know, we as young black men can reach out to y'all and have these type of conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't never know Mr. Eric knew nobody that been out here trying to get it out the streets and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's a really dope. I think that's really dope, and I think it's important for the younger generation to know that we can come and talk to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I ain't never heard a man speak with so much passion and emotion. Like I don't know nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you for doing that. I appreciate y'all for sharing. You know, because I'm not just looking at what you're saying, but I'm looking at how you're saying it. You're an example for the younger generation. And so yeah, that's I appreciate you for that. I
Well,
was
I
looking at
appreciate.
your I was looking at your TikTok and I my bad, I want to apologize for talking about the father situation because I was looking at your TikTok situation and it said you had a piece up that said to my absent father, like you feel like sharing something about that with me or you know to with us so that we understand that we ain't as different as we think and that we all got some experiences that we can help each other with.
Yeah, no doubt. Again, the whole absent father. Like I didn't grow up with my father, so there's so much about even you see my kids, like me and my kids. This is all new, you know. The closest thing to a father I had was my eldest brother. That was the closest thing to a father I had, and that was a big brother. I wasn't looking at him as a father, but I promise you, I still hear his words like he was my father, you know. Well, that piece that I wrote, a letter to my absent father, was basically just looking at it from a kid's perspective, and then advancing to myself as an adult, and realizing that I grew up to be a man without him. And you know what helped me was my mother's love, her not thinking that she could do and be everything to me because a lot of times, you know, sometimes our environments, we got a lot of mothers who's doing it all by themselves. So, you know, and sometimes they tend to have this mindset that they can be a father to their son, and they can't. You know, there was a lot of things I lacked, and my mother did everything for me. It has nothing, no negative bearing on her, but it was just things she couldn't provide me because she was a woman and she didn't understand me. You know what I'm saying? So um, she understood her son to a degree and the child that she bore and raised. But me as a man, innate, she couldn't understand that, right? And my brother, God bless him, you know, we ain't had no dad. So as he was learning, he was sharing with me. Whatever lesson he learned, he taught me. And that's what we're kind of doing, me and Eric are doing with you. There's a lot of things we've learned through the years, and that we're here to share. There's no reason why your life should be as hard as mine. I don't want my son's life to be as hard as mine.
Right.
If I got the keys and I got the knowledge, I got whatever gifts or understanding I got, I'm going to share with you easily, freely. I'm not going to put a price tag on that because when I see you, I see me, you know, and I love you. And I don't know when the last time you heard that, especially from a man, but I'll tell you as a man to a man, I love you. And that don't come with no other foolishness. It's
Right. No
just real.
strings attached. It's just real
No
talk.
strings attached.
I appreciate y'all for real, man. I love y'all too. I thank you for it. And yeah, uh, yeah, I appreciate y'all too. And this has been a very real, but I think needed conversation amongst black men. So for those of you who wants to know what really gets talked about in the barbershop, Goes a little something like that, and I'm gonna turn it back over to our beautiful host, Lady Dawn.
Listen, y'all give it up for this was absolutely on point. Bravo, salute to you, Kings. Um, just I hope again we as women who are here supporting really lead in to hear so many comments, so much has been said, and please y'all understand this is impromptu. Was not rehearsed. There was no script. This is not something we practiced and we don't do all that over here on Thursday nights. We flow freely because wherever the sweet spot is, that's where we want to land, because we are really here to have real conversations with real resolutions, just 100% pure. So, Justin flipping to that younger man, that younger side of him, while he is younger than these two men, there was still, as you were talking, I heard my 23-year-old son's voice. I heard him having conversations. Yes, my heart. Yes, well done. I'm trying not to get choked up. So many things. And even as I really can't even touch what you all said. Yes, y'all give them their props. You only get this on Thursday nights. So this is why you got to keep coming on Thursday. You can only get this over here. You can get this nowhere else. But this is what the space is about. Yes, I was hanging on to every comment. And that was why I wanted to drop off also, because again, sometimes just the presence of a woman will change the verbiage that men use. It will change some of the things that they may say. And I did not want to interfere with whatever moment was being created, because men need sacred spaces to have sacred conversations. Exactly. That flowed like a river, caused a flood of realness. Yes. And it is something we need to sit in. I know I usually go back and watch the replay after every show, but I'll be going back to watch it a little differently this time.
And Dawn, you know, when I said that whole thing about the friends being in jail, I know that that's a true story, because I had to sit down and talk to Jay about that. I talked to some of his friends when he was in junior high school about it, and so forth. I talked to the kids when we first moved the high school up into my area. I had to warn them beforehand. Listen, don't go up there with your foolishness, because up there's a different type of beast than where y'all coming from. And the first time y'all flip on these Jamaicans the wrong way, y'all gonna have a lot of trouble on your hands. And I'm sitting there trying to broker peace between the Jamaicans and my school, and I'm like, yo, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it.
So they had a choice to make. You can't. It's one or the other. You're either going to get your education, or you're going to go out there and you're going to deal drugs, and you're going to end up in jail, or you're going to end up dead.
But these are real. Yeah, it's real life, and it's when these men are coming on here again. None of this is scripted. None of it was it was not pre-planned. It wasn't prepared. I just told Justin, listen, I'm gonna drop off, let you roll with whatever way, whatever needed. Because I'm not a man. I've never been a man. I don't want to be a man. As much as I love y'all, I do. I think y'all are the greatest gifts from God. In your being a man, but there are things that go on that I know nothing about. That I can't. There's certain spaces, and when you refer to I want to put it in this way, kind of paraphrasing the roles and the presence of mother versus father, and needing that male presence and needing that male input and that male voice to talk to. Truth of the matter is, again, it made me, and I started to put it in the comments, like, women, listen, because this is the one thing that irritates me the most, and I can just imagine the challenge that you have as men. This is where sometimes that statement of men telling a woman to stay in your place kind of comes from, because we step into spaces trying to be men to our sons, or fathers to our sons, and that's not our place. It's not our space. I've never lived one day as a man. I've never tried to be, a father to my son. I'm like, all I can do is be the best mother that I can be. I said, there's certain things you're gonna go through that I know nothing about. I've been through heartbreak. You're gonna go through heartbreak, but how you go through heartbreak as a woman sometimes can be different or expressed differently than as a man. I don't know what your thought process is. I don't know what that feels like. Just the challenges of growing into a man. We don't know. So we have to step back. And I don't even want to say allow men to be men, because you're going to be a man because you are a man. But we have to step back and remove ourselves out of the way to let conversations like these happen, because we as women, when we get involved, one of the things that will happen is we start to react with our emotions, and we start responding and interjecting in spaces that really not meant for us. Men, y'all speak differently. Again, say it with your chest. Something happens when y'all speak, and we have to allow what happens when y'all speak to happen. I will honestly say, I can think of the times I got in the way of, I want to say, maybe Eric reprimanding or dealing with our son in a strong way as a man, but that was what he needed, and here I come with my feminine energy in some senses, now I'll punch Jalen in the throat in a second, I really will, but it was dealing with, because it just sounded harsh to me and it just felt really hard to me. Don't start, Justin. I'm just saying, in all honesty, but we have to understand, y'all deal with men as men. You deal with boys as men because you understand what it's going to take to get out of him, what needs to come out of him for him to be a man. It took me a long time to realize that, and I had to apologize. And I'm just taking this route because we as women sitting here having watched this and having leaned into it, some of us are going to have to go and apologize to our husbands, to our fathers, to our brothers, to those males that are in our young men's lives, because sometimes our interfering causes more damage and can undo what you guys just did. Not because we're meaning to, but because our angle of nurturing and protecting is different. Our protecting is nurturing. Your protecting is strength. It's teaching them how to, I realize that now. So this is helpful, and I really hope that it helped a lot of us. I know that it did, because y'all got me thinking. I'm like, what the heck? I'm sitting here like, what's next and where y'all going? And it's good, but these are the conversations that need to happen. Justin, they want to know, how do I employ your acting services? The Real Ones podcast says Jamaica's a different breed. Tread carefully. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolute. And we were in the Bronx, uptown, of White Plains Road, like that. It ain't no. It's a different breed. It's a whole different breed up there, so it's true. Demetri said, are your eyes sweating yet? Just
No, it was impromptu, but because I've had conversations with Moose and my brother Eric, I've taught them, I knew they was gonna be able to handle the question. So, but I'm hoping that everybody else could really absorb the full impact of the responses that both of those brothers gave. I think their responses was infinitely more important than anything I said or done. And I hope more than anything that, and I'm sure, like what I know about Kenja and all of the other men, the ministers and everything like that, I hope that you'll share this video so that young men can see that there are men out here reaching out. We don't get the spotlight, but there are men out here reaching out saying, hey, listen, I ain't gotta be your daddy. If you actually gonna put in the effort, then I'm gonna get out there and dig the hole with you. So for me, that was what it was most important. But again, I appreciate and applaud the brother Eric and brother Moose for their responses, because I think that's what's needed.
Yeah,
And shout out to the men's village men group, because essentially that's where I've even learned a lot of that particular type of questioning from.
it was really good. And I don't see how anyone who engaged in this or even watched and listened was not affected, would not be affected. You know, some of us have to process what you guys just processed and presented, you know, in order for it to trigger something to change. And you said authentic interaction. I got choked up a few times. Also, thank you for your vulnerability and courage. Let's see. Well done, my heart. We have so many comments in here. Always being open to learning and healing will turn you into what you are seeking. You know, Moose dropped so many gems in such a subtle way, and presentation makes a world of difference. I'm finding with our young men, how we're presenting, like seriously, just the tone of your voice as you were addressing the questions that Justin was sharing. Again, I kept hearing my 23-year-old voice, and the challenge of breaking down his doubts and his concerns. Like, is this a trusted space? You know, I hope y'all picked up on that, you know, and Justin, you walked through that so well. And not only hearing it in the space of my 23-year-old, but hearing it in your voice as a man at your age, because there are men out here who are in their 50s and 60s that need to have this kind of conversation, because they're still stuck in that space of that 23-year-old, just like, you know, so it's not even an age thing, you know, so much so as a life thing. So, I mean, I can't even thank you guys enough for, you know, flipping the men's lounge tonight in the exact direction that it needed to go. Kendra says, growing up, we had our own fathers, quote unquote, fathers for ourselves. You know, it's, you guys through this just answered the question, you know, that I had earlier, which was, you know, how do our young men ask for help when they were never taught, when they don't have trusting spaces, and they weren't taught to ask for help. You know, the matter of fact, they were taught you don't ask nobody for anything. You know, you just don't. So a lot of times you go without. So, you know, how do the young men ask for help if they were never taught to trust, number one, and, you know, and always told not to ask. And you guys addressed that. You touched on it. You know, you expressed it, showed us in real time what that really looks like. And so, you know, I salute and commend y'all. Like I'm overwhelmed, you know. What I want to do now, again, give it up for, where else do you get this stuff? Okay, y'all better go follow Moose Be Strength. Okay, look, I'm trying to tell you, I'm gonna get my 2 push-ups in tomorrow morning. I'm gonna do 3 on the wall. While I'm gonna do 3, I'm gonna do wall push-ups tomorrow. You know, I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying. Y'all pray for us, sister. I'm gonna get there. But, shut up. But he drops gems and nuggets like these every day. He writes poetically, real life, you know, real emotion, the truth of what a lot of us feel but won't say. He gives language to it, you know, and that is one thing that I love about his presentation, his spirit, and his flow, you know. And I really hope that before he departs tonight, you know, I read the poem Priority Me, you know, and he was like, that's our mantra, you know, like, because I really believe, and I didn't think about it. I didn't know when I was writing it what it would ever become, you know. It's in a book, but when you said it, you just gave confirmation and clarity to why I wrote it. You know, I wrote something well before. I didn't know that would have even been what was needed now, you know. But our men need to make themselves a priority. You know, it doesn't mean anybody else less important. I want y'all to survive. I want y'all to win. And I'm not speaking against any other race. I want all human beings to do so. But I want our Black men to really stand in their rightful place and make themselves that priority, and know that there are sisters out here that are really supporting you. We don't want anything from you. We come to give to you. And we are here to be that wind beneath your wings, that safe place in our womb, and not to harm, but to grow you. Before we get into final thoughts and comments, Coach Theo has been hanging in the background. I've asked her to, normally when it's the men's lounge or the ladies' room, it's just all that one gender. But I feel like at certain times, depending on the content of the night, we need to just have a little commentary from the opposite side, so that it's balanced conversation, not to challenge anything that was said. We're not, that's not this. Tonight is a lean in night. Tonight was again, when men speak, something happens, and we wanted to hear. And we're gladly, when we have our verses, that's when we go at it, men against the women, and we can go back and forth with banter. But this was amazing. Kendra says, awesome convo. Thanks for providing a healthy space. You're welcome. Thank you. It lends purpose to what I'm big on safety. I'm big on integrity. I guard and protect those I love. Like, I take it real personal. I don't, the smallest thing upsets you, I'm like, loose the chain. I got it. Don't worry about it. So safe spaces are very important to me, and especially for our men. And that's why I'm very intentional when it comes to the men's lounge about making sure that it's a space for you guys to come and share. So Justin, thank you so much for doing what you did and for taking that lead. And we will do this again and again. But before we depart, I want to give Coach Theo a few minutes to come up and share, if y'all don't mind.
No, not at all.
Okay, thank you, Matador. We appreciate that. The Real West is looking forward to the women. Yes, next week the women are going to be next week the women are going to be here, and we're going to be having some girl chat. I would apologize, but I don't apologize for what's about to happen next week. So yeah, I'm a little extra, y'all. If you don't know me,
I'll be back by next week, so that's good.
It's all right. You can always be in the comments. We know you find your way back. Oh, right. No, I got you.
Right. Yeah, I'm going up.
No, I got you. So I want to give Coach Theo a few minutes to come up and just to share, give some little commentary, a few minutes to share on this experience that has happened. And she is a licensed life coach, certified, all of that. So she speaks from more than one space, which is another reason why I wanted to invite her into the men's lounge, into the sacred space that no women ever go to at all, except for me. But, as you see, I'm backing my way out. So Coach Theo, come on up. Bravo, sweetheart. Welcome to the platform. Thank you for being tight, and share with us, if you will, if you can put it in 3 minutes worth of time, this experience tonight.
So first of all, y'all know she said invite, but I was told, right?
I'm working on my asking abilities, y'all. I'm working in love.
I was like literally, man. I was just back
when they already know. I'm just saying. Sorry, go ahead.
I was literally back here just soaking in the conversation, and was like, okay, here Justin goes again, showing up and showing out, just taking us to a whole nother space. Like, I just love the way you went into just role playing, right? Like, I felt like it was like probably the best way to answer the question that was posed, but also as you said, Dawn, like just the way Moose and Eric responded to every question. There was no frustration. There was no annoyance. It was all with love. And you could tell like they were just trying to cultivate, right? And because one of the questions I had wrote down before you even started was like, tell me about your journey, right? To where you are now, from where you were. But you guys answered all of that. Right? Like I could, just from the dialogue, I felt that you came from a place that you had to grow from, right? And you were able to do that because somebody else fed into you, right? But the most important thing I heard that is that you were open to it, right? And so I think for me, one of the things that kept resonating with me is we need this type of dialogue, because we have to make it possible for our youth today to be open to it, because they want it, even if they don't know that they need it and want it. They just don't know how to get it because there's not a space out, because they're judged, right? They're judged by how they dress, how they look, how they talk, what music they listen to, right? And so I just felt like the love, and I just felt like, especially I think when Moose said he holding them up on his shoulders, right? Like I was like, how many young men need to hear that there is another man out here that's willing to hold them up and mean it, right? Not want something for doing it. Like, I'm willing to hold you up just because I want to hold you up and see you succeed, right? And I don't know how many children hear that. I mean, I will say it was an awesome opportunity to at one point be the HR lead at Covenant House, New York. And that was my first reality into recognizing that, oh my God, look how many homeless children are out there now. So anybody that doesn't know, Covenant House, New York is a homeless youth shelter, right? For males and females, right? We separate them out and all of that. But when I got there, I was like, oh my God, I didn't never realize the enormity of the number of children who are homeless because they're not getting the support from people that are supposed to nurture and love them, right? From parents and aunts and uncles, right? They are put on the street and end up in a homeless youth shelter, right? So just to hear 3 men who are willing to sacrifice and give is powerful. Because I will tell you, the young people in the shelter, despite their situation, are optimistic, and their programs that we have that help them grow and stuff. And there are men like you that come in and speak. But imagine if there were men that got to them before they even got to the space that they have to be in a shelter, right? And so I just say bravo. I'm just like, I am impressed by you guys anyway, every day, right? But tonight, like, I was like, okay, they showing up and they showing out. And I was just like, okay, I'm ready for the next men's lounge. Like, really, like it was just powerful. It was truly, truly powerful. So
Agreed.
yeah.
Thank you, Coach Theo, for that share. And like she said, you're talking from, she's a person who has experience in different environments and with all types of ages and situations. So being one who mixes in real time in the real world and seeing the real results of the lack of these type of conversations and this type of engagement, real life, not, let's have a pizza party for, they don't need a pizza party. They need a man to come and speak and be in their face and presence and show themselves available. And so, yes, we commend you on that. I just want to read these last few comments, and then we're going to give final comments. The Real One Podcast says, it be like that when you dope, right? Exactly. The awesomeness. Kendra says, yes, men learn best through brainstorming other men who have walked this earth a few times. Right. A few times. Thank you so much for this. The Real Ones Podcast says, I will keep praying for all of you to continue this important work. Absolutely. Yes. And thank you. Please do. We really need that. And if we can just help just one, whoever the one is on tonight, then that's who we came for. And these men are in real life available. They are real life fathers, and not just dad, like they are present fathers, dads, male presence, like for real. And they mean that, and not just to one, but they've opened themselves up to all, because we really are mentoring those around us, whether we realize it or not. So yes, please. It is so much more than this podcast. It's what we do outside of here as well. Thank you for hosting. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. It's my pleasure. It's the least I can do. It's the least I can do. But I do appreciate. I enjoy what I do. I love this space and I love these people. Sister Moose, how do you like this speaking experience? Oh, that's a good question. Do you want to answer that now, Moose, or you want to wait till? No, you want to wait. Okay, all right. Justin is okay. We're gonna leave the question up there so that Moose don't forget, because he's gonna give us a poem before he leaves here today. That's gonna happen. So, but as we're closing out, I want to invite you all back next Thursday to come on 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have not hit that thumbs up button, please do. We hope that you do it because you really mean it, not just because we asked you. Secondly, if you haven't subscribed to the network, it is free 99. You even get your penny back. Please do, because if you enjoyed this conversation, we have others coming. October is going to be, what a month, because we're going to talk about cuffing season. The season is coming. It's upon us, and I need my fluffy people, such as myself, to be careful out here in the streets, because some people just want your fluff and your comfort. But that's a story for another time. Y'all got to tune in for that one. They want you to be their winter love instead of their summer heat. So we're gonna talk about that. A few things, Yeah. So tune in. It's not over till it's over. But I just wanted to share that to say, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and join us on Monday nights as well. We also have our Christian network, which is the Sheila Ingram Ministries Network, which is right across the street. You can subscribe. We'll be over there too, sharing some good stuff. So I want to give everybody a minute so that we can leave the last few moments for Moose to share his final thoughts, comments, answer the question, and share a poem, because I need y'all to hear. If you heard this man's gems he's dropping tonight, look, he put stuff on paper, y'all. All right, so I'm about to get out the way. So, Eric, please give us your 60 seconds of your final thought and comment. If you could share one thing tonight with the men and the women of this country, what would it be? 60 seconds.
Listen to your children. Sit down and talk to your children. If you see that your child looks a little distressed, have a conversation with them, a heart to heart, like, what's going on with you today? I see that you don't look, you're not looking your usual self. Is there anything that you would like to talk to me about? Is there anything that I can help you with? You know what I'm saying? You want to go out for a walk? Let's go out for a walk. Let's take a walk around the block. Let's talk. Let's chat it up. If you don't want to talk, I'm just here for you.
All right. You heard it here from Sir Eric the Matador. He says
you can reach me at DJ Elove 2025 at yahoo.com. Also, we just had our radio app added to the Google Play Store and the Apple Play Store, and that is withoutwarningradio.com. And you can also go to the website, withoutwarningradio.com. You can also find us on Facebook, withoutwarningradio.com, IG, withoutwarningradio.com.
Okay. So I guess it's without
Yeah,
warning radio
it's
dot
just withoutwarningradio.com all over
for
the
those
world.
who don't know. All right.
Yes.
And all right. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. Y'all log in, tune in, tap into Sir Eric the Matador, who is yes, who is also a DJ in real life.
Yeah.
So yes,
I forgot to
you
get my
can
Matador hat. I was supposed to wear that for you.
so you ain't wearing it for me.
Oh yeah,
Don't
I am.
don't
But
don't
we're not
don't,
holding.
don't put that narrative out there. Don't put that. It is not the disclaimer time. He was doing so good. The thoughts, feelings, and opinions for Eric the Matador are not shared. Next, we're gonna move on over to co-host Justin, Mr. Courageous Vulnerability, aka AW. Excuse you. I know where I'm at. I'm trying to get all his names in.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry.
Justin, Mr. Vulnerability, AJW, aka the Poet Wilson. Thank you. The floor is yours, sir.
Um, yeah, I appreciate Moose and Eric for what they did tonight. It was amazing to me to see it happen. I appreciate everybody that stuck around. I appreciate Coach Theo. I said when I see her questions, I say Coach Theo is sick with it. um, yeah, AJW the poet at TikTok. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram, but I'm not promoting that very well. Um, but yeah, I encourage everybody to um, look up Coach Theo's website because I believe everybody could use the services and stick with the Bravo with Sheila Network. Um, we got a lot going on. Shout out to the Real Ones podcast. Um, shout out to Kendra. Shout out to all of the family that showed up. And yeah, if you haven't got it, go get your copy of Courageous Vulnerability. I'm sure we'll be having a conversation
Yes.
sometime soon. I had said I was not going to say anything about it, and when I seen the question, I'm like, I wonder how many people actually know where that's from. But yeah, shout out to Coach Theo. She keep us on our toes, making sure we do what we got to do.
Lord.
And so yeah, we got some things in the works, and yeah, but yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to step in and co-host a little bit, and I think for me it was while I'm listening to it, I'm absorbing it in real life. It may have been an impromptu play, but I think it could be more accurately defined as an impromptu work more than play, just because of what those words can represent at times. But thank you so much for allowing me to be here.
Listen, it's what we do. It'd be no other way. And thank you to all of you, Coach Theo for popping in, Eric on the Real. I appreciate you. Justin, you already know what it is. Absolutely appreciate you. And here we are here to push and promote one another in the great works that we do individually and collectively. So y'all get ready because we gonna have merch day in 2026. Everybody has a deadline to get their merch together. So we gonna support one another and do what we need to do and make sure that our brands get out there. So now we gonna leave the last thoughts, words, comments to our, again, not a guest, he is family, but to our spotlight, which is on Moose B Strength. Y'all go follow him. I'm gonna put his information back up that Ine, our moderator, so beautifully always goes and gets for us. The question is still on the floor for you, Moose. So I'm going to yield my mic to you to answer, share, give your thoughts, feelings, comments, and your poetry, and you have a question.
Well, thank you. It was a blessing being here. I mean, the experience was magnified because of everyone on the panel, and especially my brother Justin. Lady Bidon, I thank you. Thank you, Sister Bill and Brother Eric. Much love to you guys. I listen in and I be in the comments. But today, I appreciate you allowing me to partake. Yes, to answer the question, uh, the speaking experience was okay. It was good. It was blessing. It was different than what I had thought. You know, so if I say I had some nerves before I joined, yes, I did. But I love what you're doing, and I want you guys to keep going, and this will branch into other things, into other ideas, and innovative things for others, and let's just be there for them too. You know, so I love it. Again, Moose Be Strength. You can follow me on TikTok.
Question for you. Do you have a book out? Do you have a book of poems out? Like, is your...
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. But
It's
I will.
coming.
There it is.
Okay.
There it is. It is. Yes.
That part.
Yeah. So, Lady Dawn, I know you liked My Angel. Now I can read that, or I can read some other things. It's up to you.
I want you to read whatever is in your spirit to read. Because My Angel, I can go. I know where to find that myself. So.
Is there something that aligns with what you guys talked about tonight?
Yeah. I mean, along the point of, I have two, and I haven't shared them with anyone before.
You can share them both if you like. I mean, it's up to you. The floor is yours. Share what you feel.
Okay, I got you on that. And,
Yeah, give us a preview of your book.
Again,
Yes, a preview of the book.
All right, so they're real short, but I'll read them. Happiness is a subtle thing that comes in moments. It's not long lasting. Sometimes it'll have you fasting. I know I have pursued it for over 30 years, and I've realized that it's only in some moments, those moments, where nothing matters, that happiness tends to plant its false roots. And like a first orgasm, you end up spending a lifetime seeking for the same pleasure, only to find it lost forever. Happiness is a dream that'll never be, and I am a king without a queen. And this last one speaks to an older version of that person. This fight grows old. My mind, my heart, my spirit. A trinity so cold, a soul so old. Let the future be told, engraved on my stone. Behold, here he lies alone. My search for her I had to fold. Love to me, she's so cold. With an unsettled mind, I wandered, scoured the earth for her. A lifetime spent on hope, led blindly by faith to the end of the ropes. And still, she eludes me. Her perfume, but a faint reminiscence of my youth, wasted by the thought of her imminence. Let the future be told, in all the earth, his story never to be told. My mind, my heart, my spirit, a trinity so cold, a soul so old. So that last piece kind of spoke to like the young person that Justin brilliantly performed for us. Like, you can seek all of that, and you could live trying to attain things and not find you, not prioritize you, and end up being alone because of your ideology behind who you are and what love is. So, but those are the two that I share. So
I
thank you.
told you.
Appreciate it.
That was it. Come on, y'all, give it up, claps and snaps and clicks and all that. I told y'all. Listen, as Coach Theo said, it's the preview of what's to come.
Mhm.
I want to thank so much everyone for tuning in tonight. You know, Justin, AJW, the poet, Mr. Courageous Vulnerability, Sir Eric the Matador, Coach C, and Moose B Strength, aka our Moses. And the reason why I realized I called you that is because the way I see it and I see you is when we think about Moses, for those who are biblical and understand what he did and how he was in the forefront and he was leading and training at the same time, and opening doors for others, some doors that he may not have ever walked through himself. Moose, you definitely are a modern day replication, whether you know it or not, of that ministry, that you are that typified Moses. What you do and what you say, whether it's big platform, we have enough big platforms. It's not the big platforms. You reach more people day to day with touches that you give, more so than any big platform could ever give, because the touch that you give leaves a imprint that a person will go through the rest of their life with never forgetting. Big platforms, there are a lot of idolized moments that you forget, but the imprint that don't ever think that your footprints don't remain, that they will never be removed from them. And not just through your children, but because of you and your work, your life's work. So thanks to God, the Most High, for keeping you, for preserving you, our Moses, because you are definitely leading and opening doors and being that man of strength, but that gentle, stern voice. So, you know, I'm going to stop before I start going somewhere else and we have to go across the street to
And I was going to say, and the obedience, right? Like, just, just the obedience, right? You know,
in spite of. In spite of. So give it up for our Moose B Strength, aka Moses. He is welcome now to the Bravo family. One way, no way out. I kidnap people, and now you're just
you're in for it now.
Yep, welcome in. Justin can't get out. You can't get out. Theo can't get out. Eric could never get out. And so welcome. You know, we got a room for you. We'll get your key and get you settled in. Don't worry about it. So everybody, thank you for joining us this Thursday night. I don't even have to ask if it was a blessing or an encouragement to you. I know that it was. Watch this replay 50,011 times. Share it with your friends. Hit that thumbs up button and continue to join us on Thursday nights. Next week, the ladies are up. We are having the ladies room girls chat. And y'all know, if you know me, it is never as usual, as normal as you may think it is. So be prepared to have real conversation with real resolutions and real people. Y'all have a great night. Thank you for tuning in. Hang with me, 2 Second Squad, and we'll see y'all next week. Love y'all. We'll be great.
I'ma make the rest of my life live. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best.